Oh, I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all. I'm black and they black. Yeah, whatever. This is our real here to review the WrestleMania 28 pay-per-view that ended a few hours ago. Though by the time you see this video, like I probably uploaded this around like around 1 a.m. my time, possibly 2 a.m. my time in the morning. Yeah, let's review the matches. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you guys know about the winner of each match, and then I'm gonna just give you my thoughts on each of the matches, on what I thought about them. So, the first match of the night that was televised, at least, was the World Heavyweight Championship match between the Royal Rumble 2012 winner Sheamus and the World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan. Now, this match was a letdown, especially considering that this was a World Heavyweight Championship match. It only lasted 14 seconds. They completely squashed Daniel Bryan, which is sad to say. I mean, it was other matches that should have been like the squash match or could have been the squash match, but they decided not to do that. Instead, they do that with the number 2 title in the company, pretty much. I mean, you have one of your top 2 titles as a squash match. I mean, I'm really not understanding the logic behind that, especially when you had all these other matches that you could have, truth be told, make those a squash match. I'm really not getting as to why they did that with the World Heavyweight Championship match. But Sheamus won, I mean, by using a bro kick. At the beginning of the match, Daniel Bryan is out next to AJ, and he turns around to kiss AJ on the next to the ring apron. He turns around, Sheamus hits him with the bro kick, pins him 1, 2, 3, and the match lasts only 14 seconds. So it was a complete waste of time. And for this to be a World Heavyweight Championship match, it just shows that, you know, either one, they didn't care about Daniel Bryan being a champion. 2, like they just thought, Daniel Bryan as a champion wasn't really working out the way they wanted it to, and they just wanted to just get rid of him. Or 3, they felt like the storyline wasn't good enough for the match to last long, which I don't understand if they would have felt like that, but whatever. I'm gonna move on. Kane versus Randy Orton. This match was good. Kane wins. The match wasn't as good as I thought people were gonna think it would have been, but it was one cool spot where Kane was on the top turnbuckle. Randy Orton, he was about to go for an RKO. Off of the second rope, and Kane, he reverses it and he choke slams him off of the second rope onto the mat and he pins him 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Kane wins the match between him and Randy Orton. Now, the next match is the Intercontinental title between Big Show and Cody Rhodes. Now, for me, this match could have been the squash match. Because the whole storyline for this one is that Cody Rhodes had pulled Big Show over the top rope at the Royal Rumble, and that's basically how the feud got started. And since then, Cody Rhodes, he's been showing clips of past WrestleManias where, the Big Show has just been a choke artist, supposedly. And, he hasn't won a match at WrestleMania in so long. It was on that one day, that's when he chokes. And like the way they could have did this match is that, you know, Big Show would have been so angry that he gets in and he right hooks him, knock him out, and just pins him 1, 2, 3. Because at this time, Cody Rhodes, he's been a well-established Intercontinental Champion for so long that they, I feel like, are ready to shoot him up to the main event spot, which should happen. But yeah, like I said, this match could have been the squash match, but it wasn't. It was an okay match. Like, I don't know, like I wasn't really into it like I thought I was gonna be. But the Big Show wins, and finally he wins the Intercontinental title, the one title that's eluded him his entire career. Congratulations, Big Show. Moving on. Okay, so it was a piss break match. Beth Phoenix and Eve Torres versus Kelly Kelly and that chick from Extra. Uh, what's her name? Maria Menounos. I can't remember. I mean, like the match, it really isn't even worth mentioning. Uh, of course, Kelly Kelly and the extra co-host had, or the extra female host, she had won. That tag team won. I mean, it was whatever. That's what it is. Like, I hate saying that because they could have done something better with that Divas match. Like, they could have put the Divas title on the line, but nope, you decided to put the Divas champion in a tag team and then have her lose. So, you know, I mean, it was just fucked up. So whatever, man. The next match, of course, was arguably the best match of the night, and I believe it was the best match of the night. The Hell in a Cell match between Triple H and The Undertaker, with Shawn Michaels as the special guest referee. Now, this match, to me, the Hell in a Cell cage wasn't even needed, because it just seemed like a no holds barred match with a cage. Like, the cage wasn't even really used as much as I think it should have been. But in terms of the storyline, I'm guessing that it really did help with the match. I mean, you seen the HBK in the cage, like he was watching as the Undertaker was getting beat up by Triple H with a steel chair and, you know, weapons, and vice versa with, you know, Undertaker and, you know, just beating up Triple H with weapons and things like that. And he was like in the corner, you know, just curled up, like he didn't want to see any of these guys lose, at least not beaten so badly, you know, to where they wouldn't be able to walk, which he tried to make happen. Like, he super kicked Undertaker and ended up getting a 2 count for Triple H, and, you know, but of course Undertaker won. The streak lives on. He's 20-0 at WrestleMania. The main thing about this match that I like is that it was really HBK being a special guest referee, because it left that sense of, that whole sense of mystery. Like, you didn't know if HBK was going to screw Undertaker, and at times it did look like he was going to, you know, screw him over. And you didn't know if he was going to betray Triple H. You know, it was just that big mystery there, and I think it really helped with the overall story of the match. So Undertaker won that. He's 20-0. It is good to say that all three of the guys, like, they had to walk out the ring together. Well, they walked out the ring together. You know, just showing a good sign of respect to each other. And yeah, it was a good match. And it also had a good ending. I think it could have been better. But overall, like I think it was the best match of the night, and I really did like it. The next match was Team Laurinaitis versus Team Long. Now, obviously, it isn't any surprise who won this team match. Team John Laurinaitis. But it was the fact that the one guy who they didn't even, seem like they didn't even want to compete at WrestleMania ended up being the guy to win it for him. It was The Miz. The Miz, like he was getting beat up by Zack Ryder. He was in the corner, and Zack Ryder, like he was going for that woo 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 kick, and Eve comes in the ring next to Zack Ryder and does it with him. She's all hyped up because she believes Zack Ryder is about to win, and she feels like she's on the winning team. And Zack Ryder's trying to get her out the ring with the referee. Miz creeps up behind Zack Ryder, hits him with the skull crusher finale, pins him 1, 2, 3. John Team Laurinaitis wins, and no sooner than John Laurinaitis winning, he starts to throw his weight around. Because, like the stipulation for the match was that the winner takes control over Raw and SmackDown. And he sees CM Punk backstage getting ready for his match with Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship. Like he tells CM Punk, oh, well, you seem kind of pissed off. You seem angry. So if you lose your temper out there in the match with Chris Jericho, then you lose the title to Chris Jericho. So basically, CM Punk goes into this match with the odds stacked against him. Like he can't get pissed off and lose his temper and end up getting disqualified and lose his title. So that's just what it is. This match could have been better than I thought it was going to be, and a lot of people actually thought that this was going to be a match of the night. And I mean, like, respectfully so. I mean, like, when you have two guys like Chris Jericho and CM Punk, you would think that the match would have been a lot better than it was, but it was okay. It was definitely one of the best matches of the night. I'll say that. But it didn't really have any any standout moment for me. I mean, it was an okay match. It just didn't have a standout moment. But CM Punk wins. And he retains. Now, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Chris Jericho now, because I would have thought that they would have let Chris Jericho win this match. But, of course, that didn't happen. But moving on. Then, you had like the Brodus Clay dancers come out on stage, and like the whole background group of Mama Clay dancers, and like they jumping around and dancing for him or whatever. And it's whatever. But yeah, it's crazy how a jobber gets more pay-per-view time than your World Heavyweight Championship match. These guys were on stage for like a good 10, 12 minutes dancing around, and your World Heavyweight Championship match only lasted 14 seconds. So, on top of that, it was just a squash match, and it was just fucked up. And then finally, the creme de la creme, the Rock versus John Cena. John Cena, he comes out in his new green shirt. But whatever. He came out in his new shirt. I don't even know why I brought that up, but the match was sloppy. And of course it didn't live up to the hype, but for me, I wasn't so surprised that this match has as many botches as it did via The Rock. Because one, when you have a guy who hasn't been in the ring as long as The Rock has, he's not well rounded as he used to be. So he really doesn't know his way around the wing or around the ring like he once did. So of course, like, he's going to be sloppy, and it was definitely didn't live up to the hype that they wanted to that he wanted it to live up to. I mean, of course, it had like a little over a year. No, like, it had over a year, like, in order for the storyline to develop. And after your hype reaches up to a certain point, people are going to set their expectations too high to the point where they won't even be able to be met. And that's what happened with this match. It just didn't live up to the hype, period. It couldn't have. And then on top of what The Rock not being an in-ring performer for so long, you had all those sloppy mishaps here and there. You know, it was impossible. Now, of course, well, surprisingly, The Rock wins. And a lot of people didn't believe that The Rock was going to win because John Cena is the WWE's top guy. And they just felt like it's no way that Vince McMahon was going to have John Cena lose this match, you know. But I guess it's better for me. I wanted The Rock to win, and I felt like John Cena should have lost. But more importantly, I wanted John Cena to lose in a clean fashion, meaning no interferences. You know, because like when you look back on recent John Cena matches, like just from weekly events to pay-per-views, etc., it seems like John Cena, he's been shot up to this super persona. Like, he can't lose a match, period, unless something happens during the match. And when you look at all the people who had victories over John Cena, it was always some type of interference. You know what I mean? And then it made you question the winner. And I mean, why would you do that to the victors over John Cena? Like, is he so important to your company that he just can't lose a clean match? But whatever. He lost to The Rock surprisingly clean. He lost to him clean. And I would like to say, like, the last few minutes of this match were pretty good. They were pretty good. You know, like The Rock, he was laid out on a mat. John Cena, he was going for the people's elbow, trying to use The Rock's move. He even took off the little headband that he has on his roided up bicep, throws it out into the crowd, does the little arm swing, goes from the right to the left, and as he's going to the left, Rock gets up, rocks bottom, hits him 1, 2, 3. And I think to me, I feel like it was the best thing for them to do, was to let John Cena lose in a clean fashion, because now he actually seems human. But considering all the matches that he had that he lost prior to this, I don't know, like, it just didn't feel as meaningful as it should have. But I think this sets up for something good for Cena down the road. Maybe some type of character change. Maybe let him go heel, you know, or maybe just try to change him up a little bit to where he doesn't seem like the same old stagnated, you know, 4 moves into a finisher that's been shoved down our throats for year after year. And, you know, we're just tired of that taste. We're tired of John Cena. And he needs to reinvent himself. He needs to be reinvented as in, you know, like, he needs to be repackaged as something. Well, not necessarily repackaged, but like, they need to reinvent him. They need to make him into something different, because that same old Super Cena thing, that's not working for the WWE anymore, which is why people have stopped getting behind him. You know, of course, kids are going to be kids. Anybody that wins constantly, they're going to cheer for him, whatever. But people just tired of seeing him. I mean, it's whatever. But yeah, that was my review of WrestleMania 28. First match was a squash match. And honestly, like, the best match of the night was Triple H and The Undertaker. overall, I feel like this WrestleMania it didn't live up to the hype uh, that they wanted to, because they were hyping it up for so long. And like I said, after you hype up anything for so long, people's expectations get set too high, and that's what happened with this pay-per-view. The expectations were just set too high, and they couldn't deliver, that standard. Like, they couldn't live up to that standard. So I think it could have been better. I honestly think they could have rearranged these matches um, better than what they did, because like that would be my one major complaint, is that they didn't do that. These matches could have been a lot better than they were. Some of them was okay. The only terrible and major complaint that I have overall is that they had the World Heavyweight Championship match last only 14 seconds, and that's, yeah, I need not say anything else. So WrestleMania 28, it was better than, some WrestleManias in the past decade, but it was okay. It wasn't as good as they wanted it to be, but it was okay. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys later, and peace.